What would make a person do something like this, something so horrific to children so little? Let's bring in psychiatrist Dr. Janet Taylor to talk about the mind of the shooter. And clearly everybody understands this young man was mentally ill. But to pick children, young children as his victims, I mean, that is about the worst thing you could do. What does that tell you about his motivation, about his stability or instability, obviously?
Yeah, I mean, certainly there is an evil, just heinous quality to it. And the fact is, it's impossible to predict who will be violent, but risk factors are individuals who have been exposed to physical abuse, sexual abuse. If there's an underlying psychological impairment, which certainly he was described as odd and possibly was in the autism spectrum, if there is have access to guns and weapons, and certainly individuals who may have revenge in their mind, but again, who wants to hurt innocent children?
Well, I mean, obviously there are a lot of people in this country who are autistic or have Asperger's syndrome and never commit any violent act. A lot of people who frankly are mentally ill. A quarter of the population by some estimates have mental illness of some kind and never commit a violent act. This young man is accused, according to police, of shooting his mother at his home and then getting in the car with his weapons, driving to an elementary school, walking in and shooting kindergartners and first graders.
Well, I think the premeditated quality of it certainly indicates a fact that you can be mentally ill, you can be psychotic and know right from wrong. In this case, I think he deliberately knew what he was doing. It's certainly his underlying mental illness, presumably, that he had, is not an excuse in any way for what he did.
And obviously, is the fact that the target was young children, does that give you any indication as to perhaps he was trying to hurt something that meant something to his mother?
I mean, presumably that would be the link. Unfortunately, we will not know, but you'd have to think that the fact that he killed his mother and then went and killed just innocent children who maybe there was a link between his mother and his kids and the kids, or maybe he just felt like he was doing something so horrific that he would always be remembered. We won't know, but at the end of the day, it's just we have to pray for the families and understand that at some point we will understand a motive, but it still will never be enough to bring these poor kids and adults who died back.
Okay, right now focus is on the families and those victims. All right, Dr. Taylor, thank you so much.